And I had a conversation with him about feminine versus masculine. Should you be able to tell a difference? He's like, no, you should not be able to tell a difference in the sex just by looking at them because of the standard. That makes sense to you?
No, it doesn't. I always go back to nature, right?
Yeah.
I always look at nature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yet to see a lioness that looks like a lion. Never.
Yeah, true.
I've never.
Yeah.
I've never seen a cow that looks like a bull. It's only with dogs that we have an obsession of trying to breed a male with that looks
a female
that looks like a female. Okay, here's a question. Mm-hmm. Would you date a male? Hello?
No. Sir.
Would you want to date somebody that looks like you?
No.
Me too. I want another male. You know? So yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Welcome to NWA Connie Corso's podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
Everybody, welcome back to the NWA Connie Corso show, where we talk all things dogs. If you've never been here before, no topic is off limit when it's related to dogs. We don't get in people's personal lives, anything like that, but it's all things dogs. So today we got our brother Bogoshi of Nsizwa. I'll just have him pronounce his program, but brother Bogoshi, a Boerboel breeder. How you doing, man?
Good and you, Joe?
Good. So, man, tell us how you got started in the Boerboel.
Ooh, that's a very interesting story. So I've been in the Boerboels a greater part of my life.
Uh-huh.
Back home, we had a Boerboel. In fact, he was a Boerboel bull mastiff type dog.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, after a year or so, I got a Boerboel called Johan. And asked my parents for another one, a female. Nature happened. I wasn't anticipating nature to happen, but it happened. I was a kid back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my first litter on the 8th of August 2001. A few days after, about a month or so after your guys had 9/11. Had my first litter, and I've never stopped ever since. And in 2010, I then moved from unregistered Boerboels, and I hooked up with Johan Swart. I think you spoke to Johan Swart.
Oh, Johan, yeah.
When?
Yeah.
I got my first registered Boerboel with Johan. Got another 2 with him later on. And yeah, that's how my journey started in the Boerboels. So with registered Boerboels, I started in 2010. But with Boerboel type dogs, I grew up around them. I've been around them all my life. Yeah.
Okay, so the Boerboel, that's a good question. How do you pronounce it? The dog.
It's pronounced Boerboel.
Boerboel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, over here in the USA, we say Boerboel.
Yeah. You guys, all of the Americans say Boerboel. Yeah.
The same thing with the Connie Corso. People call it Kane Corso, Kanye Corso, King Corso. So yeah, y'all got the same issues. Well, I'll try not to torture it so bad today, bro. But so the Boerboel is a common dog, a land race dog in your area.
Yeah, it's one of the land races in South Africa. We actually have 2 land races.
Okay.
One is the Africanus, and one is the Boerboel. So it's quite a common dog. in South Africa, especially in agricultural holdings and agricultural places, farms. But nowadays, you get it more also in urban areas. The bigger they've gotten, the more urbanized they have become.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you speak on a land race, how long would you say that the Boerboel has been around in your area? Look, amongst the people?
I think in South Africa, we can. Yeah, well, there are people who say they can trace the Boerboel back to the late 19th century. I'd say, truly speaking, we can really say what we know today as a Boerboel can be really traced in South Africa in about 1930s, 1940s, and regularized or made to be a registered dog in 1980, 83, 84 there. So yeah. So as a registered animal and a recognized breed, it's been recognized since 1983.
So this is my next question. Over here in America, some people believe it's a recently created breed. What are your thoughts on that? Why do they say that?
I don't know. I don't think it depends. How recent are they talking about?
They talking about maybe 30, 40, about 40 years ago, maybe.
Look, in terms of being a registered animal, a recognized animal, it's about 40-something years. I mean, 1983 to now, it's about 40-something years. Okay. But as a animal, it's been here around for I could say about 100 years.
Gotcha. Okay. And what makes it a land race? Mastiff. What is? Yeah, it is a Mastiff. Or is it? I mean, because the Boerboels are pretty big in size. I know dogs change over time, but originally or in the past, didn't they have qualities more like a real athletic? I'm trying to think of a dog to compare to it, but was it more smaller, more leaner, quicker and stuff? Is there a difference? Okay.
Yeah, it was. Look, I think we'd categorize it as a Mastiff because it's a molosol, right? Mm-hmm. Part of the molosol group of dogs, which are largely Mastiffs. You do get smaller Mastiffs, you do get massive Mastiffs, but they're Mastiffs nevertheless. The Boerboel in the past 30 years has gone bigger. The dogs I grew up around compared to the dogs that we have now are way different. And I can attribute the size largely because of you guys, the Americans. And I know your viewership is America. So you guys love everything big. I mean, I look at your Fords compared to our Fords, you know? I mean, they'd be very impractical on our roads here, your F-250s and F. So I think you guys love everything big, and your appetite for big things ended up making us in South Africa breed the dog bigger than what it originally is.
Supply and demand. Yeah. So
it's a land race. It's the reason why it's a land race is that one, it's a purely South African dog. It originates from us here, and it's recorded to be a South African dog, right? So we've got a few land races in terms of animals, right? We've got the Boerboel as a dog, as a land race. We've got Boer goats. Those are also land race. We've got a cow breed called the Bonsmara, which was developed and bred here. So those are the few land races, and they're protected by law. They're protected by government.
By the government,
For example, when I export a Boerboel, I have to apply an export permit from government, and they must grant me. And one of the points in that export permit, they say you can't export an inferior animal, right? And I see this a lot. I see people sending inferior animals, and the law says if I'm going to export an animal anyway, it has to be a superior one because it represents the country. doesn't represent Nsizwa, doesn't represent my kennel. It represents the country. So that's why it always has to be a superior animal that goes out of the country.
Gotcha. So, in your early journey, you mentioned Johan Swart. How you doing, Johan? Good to hear. Want to talk to you again. Maybe who else was their influence? I hear a guy named James Brennan. Is it James Brennan that was another influential guy over there?
Yeah. Look, Johan and James are from a different school of thought.
Okay.
And that's why ultimately they were shunned out of let me not say the system, but they were pariahs, if I can use that word, you know.
Okay.
And the reason is I had the opportunity to meet James Brennan from Boerboels, and he was a purist. He was a purist and did not want to compromise or sacrifice his beliefs, right? Even like Johan. Look, they never believed that there's such a thing as a black Boerboel.
Give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real world experience and our passion for healthy dogs.
So they never believed in a concept of a black Boerboel. They believed that it was a dog that was brought. There's a dog that was brought in to get the color. All right. Mm-hmm. And so they were not the popular guys, because black dogs were out there now. Black dogs were making money, and they stood up and said, there's no such thing as a black Boerboel. Till today, Johan Swart does not believe there is such a thing as a black Boerboel. So yeah, I'd met both. I would not say James influenced my journey that much, but Johan Swart was more of a person who influenced my journey. I learned a lot from him.
Gotcha. You speak of that black Boerboel. That black Boerboel was never seen on the farms, correct?
Nah.
So the school of thought believes that it was like we said that, size, color is what sells. Oh my God, don't let me get in color with the Boerboel right now over here.
Yeah.
But I've heard rumors that the black came in from a Connie Corso. They crossed in. So I don't know, but yeah, but we know it's to sale, right? Is that what we would assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look, black has a color. And I'm not talking science, I'm just talking observation. Besides humans like you and I in Africa, there are very few black animals. And where there are black animals, they are because Africa is largely savanna, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you do get pockets of forests, rainforests.
Mm-hmm.
In those rainforests, you'll get black type looking animals, but in your savannas, where most of the continent is, you don't find black animals. You really find a black leopard. It happens in nature. You have them. That's where Black Panther comes from. I've never seen a black lion. All lions are fawn, or the color they are. Dogs generally, Africanus, you go from Cape to Cairo, all our dogs are brown. We don't even have native white African dogs, because the sun will not be kind to a white dog in Africa,
Right.
It wouldn't. So black was brought in. Yes, it is acceptable now. They are a part of the breed and the breed standard. But the fact of the matter is, somebody somewhere brought in a black dog, and to get where we are today.
So with that color being involved, how does that work with the registries now? Does every registry accept that black dog, or some do, some don't? How's it work?
Look, because the Boerboel is a land race, by law, it can only be registered by one authority.
Okay.
So in South Africa, the Boerboel is only registered by SABS, South African Boerboel Breeders Society. So they accept black.
Okay.
So in South Africa, it's an acceptable color.
Gotcha.
But there was a process to it. There was even a court case about it. So, yeah, which is a long story. But it is an acceptable color within the breed standard in South Africa.
Okay. Breed standards are tricky, aren't they? Breed clubs are tricky. I mean, it depends on who's in charge a lot. I notice what happens with dogs. You know what I mean? Very interesting. I want to go back a little bit on your journey. Maybe walk us through the process of you said you met Johan and learned a lot from him. How was your early journey and your development through the years of the Boerboel? What was the things you learned? What was setbacks you had?
One of the key things that I've learned, and you lose certain things as you grow older, but I'm going back to that. One thing that I learned very early is that you must always have a picture in your head of the type of dog that you want to breed. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing, in my formative years, as I was growing up early, I come from a school of people who said, don't try and change the breed standard to suit your breeding, but rather breed towards a standard. So don't be those people who every year you put in a motion trying to change the breed standard to suit your pups, if I may say, or. So those are the two things. Always have a picture of a dog that you want to breed in your head, right? Mm-hmm. And Johan always used to use a word a phrase that breeding is like panel beating a car, Mm-hmm. It's like panel beating. So you look at this female, you look at this male, you look at your female and say, you know what? She lacks this, she lacks that. So I'm trying to fix it. So I'm panel beating. And I try go for a male that will complement those things that I wanna fix or improve, right? So I think
give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real-world experience and our passion for healthy dogs.
But yeah, those are the two things that have always stuck to me. But I'll remember the other one and I'll come back to it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about, I want to ask you about the importance of the female to your program. You know what I mean? What is your thought process on who carries the program? Or do you think it's an equal value thing with the male and female? Or do you think it's the stud or the female? What's your thought process on that?
I don't think it's an equal value thing.
Okay.
I don't. I build my kennel and I've built my line on a female.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a bit of historical background.
Please.
So I got a dog from Johan Swart called Lino Nandi. Right? Nandi was a brindle dog. She was out of the Driefontein dogs and one of Johan's dogs. And growing up, I was a big fan of the Driefontein dogs. Just could not get a dog from that woman back then. So when Johan had a Driefontein dog, I said, I don't care who you breed this dog to, I want a pup from this and must be brindle. That is a dog called Nandi. Nandi was not the nicest. Nandi will never win a show for you, right? She'll never even place 2 or 3. right? But what that dog did is build my kennel. What that dog did made sure I've got what I call a bitch line, and I never hear people ever talk about bitch lines. But anyway, she made a bitch line for me. Dogs that have milk, dogs that fall pregnant easily, dogs that mother their pups.
Monthly instincts, yes, yeah.
So I've had one or two dogs because obviously you'd breed this to her dogs and what. I had dogs that needed a C-section, did not have milk, but I've culled them. Not like cull, but I've taken them out of my program. I don't want to do a C-section. I don't want to raise pups, hand raise pups. I don't want to do that. Yes, I'll sit with the mother. I'll monitor the mother, especially a first-time mother. I'll help her out. But if you don't have motherly instincts, if you can't take care of your pups, you're out. I don't want you. That's me. That's me personally. So I believe in what I call a bitch line. I think females are far superior than males in breeding of animals. And this is observation. This is not science, right? You're a breeder yourself, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I have found a good bitch, right, breeds you a good stud. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. It's not the other way around. A good bitch would breed you a good stud.
Oh yeah.
So, but I believe in a good female line.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. I started with two females because you can find studs anywhere. But me too. Even myself, I say you can find studs anywhere, but that don't mean I just go to anybody's stud. You know what I mean? I still work off the lines that she's coming off of. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's some good information. People need to understand that. But in other dog cultures, they put, like maybe in the bully culture, the exotic bully cultures and stuff like that, they put a lot of stock on the stud. But this is the culture. But I think that's going to change here in a minute. So you said this dog, Nanny, her name was Nanny?
Yeah, Nandi, yes, Nandi.
Nandi, okay.
Nandi,
She's the one who built your program.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
So I started with two females, Nandi and Mkabai. And Mkabai was not the most fertile of dogs. So what I did, I had a male from Johan, a female from Johan, and females elsewhere. But what I did is that, I put in the Johan Swart in this female that was not the best of females in terms of fertility. After about 2 litters, sold her. But I found that her offsprings, obviously, there'll be what I call the rule of 25. There'll be others who mimic the mother, it's fine. And there'll be those who take the certain traits that I wanted from the father. And you look and you select. And I've selected out all that bad traits. But I've started with 2 females. They've built my dogs. And I mean, the dogs, I've got a 6-month-old pup that has all 3 of my foundation dogs in it. I was thinking about it this morning that this dog it's their great grandparents, but all of them are in you,
Right.
And I have no dog from outside. All the dogs that are in my kennel currently, all of them have been bred by me. Are all my dogs, are all Nsizwa dogs. So hence I said, for myself, I've built a strong bitch line.
Yeah. How old are you?
I am turning 39 in about 4 months' time, 3 months' time.
You've been doing this since you was about 19, 20 years old.
No, I've been doing, I had my first litter when I was in grade 8, when I was 14.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's my first litter, yeah. And my first registered litter in 2011. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an OG in the game.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm an OG in the game. Yeah.
Right. For sure. How is the state of the Boerboel in South Africa? Is it still strong, or has you see it incline more in America? Or what's your current thoughts of the Boerboel?
Look, I think the state of the Boerboel in South Africa needs to be rescued. I don't think it's strong. And it's not because of the animals. I think in the past 5 years, there's been an influx of new people, which is fine. I'm not a protectionist. New people don't have the requisite information, they don't have mentoring. I was mentored. When I got in the game, I was mentored by Johan. I went to these old breeders, sat with them. It wasn't a money thing to me then, I was young. It was a passion thing. I liked it. I loved it. So the new people in the last 5 years have come in, sales-driven, numbers-driven, puppy mills, and I'm seeing the results out there that, it's going down. And with the American restrictions of the CDC of, I think, COVID, that has just made it worse, that has just made it worse,
Yeah.
But I think the state of the Boerboel is declining here. I think it's also declining in your country as well. There was a time where you guys were going up, but also I think you guys are in the decline as well. And I think it's because of two factors you guys are also in decline, right? There are a lot of people in America that are obsessed with trends and colors and patterns, and obviously those will always breed those, and also I think the CDC restrictions have affected the quality, because not a lot of dogs are coming into America anymore, because it's getting more expensive. I could take a dog to America at 16 weeks. I can't anymore. It has to wait until it's about 7 months.
That's right. Yeah.
Which what that does, it does two things, right? My biggest clientele in America were pet homes, were not breeders, right? No pet home wants a 7-month-old pup. Pet homes can take a 16-week-old pup,
Right.
So the decline is there, according to me. It's twofold.
Yeah. That's the issue when it comes to popularity. What colors do this dog come in? I know it's probably different over here in America. I'm not sure how it works. Y'all got a couple registries and different clubs.
Yeah.
But where you are, what colors? Maybe I can pull it up.
We'll have what we call different shades of brown.
Okay.
Right. So you'd have under the different shades of brown, you'd have your brown, you'd have your fawn, you'd have your tan, you'd have your red, then you have your brindle, and then you've got your black.
Okay.
Black and tan is a DQ. It's not allowed.
That's the other color I was going to ask you about. So we have a similar thing. We call it pointed, black and tan. We have that same issue in the Corso where it's a disqualification. That color is that wasn't the color you seen coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That black and tan, you didn't see that at all coming up, right?
No. Look, I think black and tan is it's maybe the first black and tan dog I saw maybe was like 15 years ago.
Okay.
It pops up here and there, Look, I'd never had it in the register when I was since breeding registered Boerboels. Never had a black and tan.
Right.
But when I had Boerboel type dogs, which were not registered, it once popped up.
Right.
Yeah, it once popped up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did a little test for myself. I kept the dog, bred her. She never bred a black and tan. Funny enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know the science behind the black and tan, but it's a DQ.
Right. I need to look into that myself a little bit more on the history of molosses, because I'm wondering if some of that coming back from the day, instead of us thinking that it's always maybe like a Rottweiler or something that was introduced.
Yeah.
Rental points and things like that. Yeah, man. What was I going to ask you about? Let me see where I want to go next with this. The temperament of the Boerboel. This dog is known to have an on-off switch naturally. Can you tell us about that?
I love the way you put it, a natural on and off switch. How I put it, it can naturally analyze and assess situations. That I can tell you, a Boerboel can do that. I don't know how to explain it. It's built in. It switches now. You could come in, you find it sit. When it feels that you are a threat, it will just go. So, and if it feels that you're a good guy, you know, a certain dog breeds where you just come close to it, they just bark, and Boerboel's not like that. They'll let you in. It won't bark. But as soon as it feels that this person is a threat, it'll just switch on. So it has that. But a Boerboel must have a sound temperament, right? It must have a sound temperament because it's a big dog. It's a large dog. It's like having a loaded gun with a person who's never used a gun before. You'll hurt yourself. So a Boerboel with a bad temperament, or what I'd call aggressive Boerboel, it can't be. It shouldn't be. Because it's just too much of a big dog to have aggression. It must be a dog with sound temperament, a dog that can critically analyze every situation, a dog that's not afraid of noise. A Boerboel must never be a dog that's afraid of its own shadow. It can't be. It can't be. It has to be a brave dog, but well-tempered, sound temperament.
Well, over here, we cover a lot on personal protection dogs. I don't know if it's something it might be a smaller uptick in protection dog training. Is the Boerboel supposed to be a protection dog, or is it more of a estate guardian, livestock guardian? What's your thoughts on that?
A Boerboel for me is a defensive dog. It's a defender, right? A Boerboel, I look at my dogs, or when my partner walks around, they walk around next to her. They won't leave her to go bite you if you're an intruder. It's not who they are. It's not their nature. They're defensive dogs. They're what I'd call, if I can use the word, bodyguards. They would rather wait for you to come, in terms of personal protection. They're not attacking. They are more of a defensive type dog. That's why I don't see many doing your bite works, your attack, because I think their nature is the defensive dogs. And this emanates from how they were bred. If you look at farms and homesteads, their animals, by the time they go and chase a person, one will come and steal the animals. So they should always stay with the animals, come hell or high water.
Right.
Not run to an intruder. No, they have to stay with the animals. So that's where their defensive nature comes from.
Right. They don't run, you don't chase it. So this is something I learned from Johan, right? all these stories behind these dogs and everything like that. And I was talking with him one time, but one thing you always hear is Boerboels was used to kill lions, and that's something that ain't true. What other misconception about Boerboels is there?
Let me start with that one. I don't know what Johan said, but a Boerboel will never kill a lion. It's impossible.
No. Yeah.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that's a common thing people say, but it's not true.
No.
Yeah.
Lions are massive. Lions are massive. There's no chance. Look, there are a lot of misconceptions. The lion one.
Pretty huge too, right? You ever seen a hyena?
Hyenas are big. I've seen a hyena.
Yeah,
I've seen a hyena. Hyenas are big. And hyenas are, so no. Look, I couldn't think of one now, but I know the lion one is very, very common.
Right.
Very, very common, Yeah, but it's impossible. Lions are massive.
Right.
Massive.
Yeah, let's dive into this. Appraisals. Right. That's something that it might be only specific to your breed, the appraisals. Where y'all come together. I guess it's just like the show or the expo or something to call it. What are your thoughts? How does that work? What is the intentions of it?
Look, the intentions of it is to score a dog. And if a dog passes, the pass mark is 75. So if the dog achieves 75, you can breed that dog, right? It's a breeding score, 75. And so you're looking from 75 to 100. No dog has ever gotten 100. A couple gets 94 and the 90s. So it's a way to if I can say, a bit of quality check if a dog is of breeding standard, right? So that's what happens. That's what we do. My problem with appraisals is they are not always fair. And they are not always objective. All right. Some of the times, the appraisers are breeders. We're fighting for the same market. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also. That also plays a part, right?
Yeah, right.
So no, it does. And look, a lot of people will be scared to say it, and look, I'm not.
Right.
But
I was listening to some of your content. You said you had struggles getting dogs early off because.
And white breeders. Let me say it. White breeders did not want to sell dogs to me.
Yeah.
It's until Johan Swart back then sold a dog. They did it. That's the nature of South Africa. It's the nature of South Africa.
Right. Yeah.
Things have changed now a bit. They realize that money is money, so they'll still sell your dog, but they'll get you somewhere.
Right.
They'll get you somewhere. Yeah. So I think one day I wish. Look, there are two in this country. There are a couple of appraisers, but there are two women appraisers, females, white, very good, fair. They don't appraise the person; they appraise the dog. So I'm not going to paint everybody with it. So I want to take those two out, right? Very good people, good appraisers. But I find that the others are not, right? And not all, as I'm saying. I find that I think one day, the day we have appraisers who are not breeders, appraisers who don't have kennels, I think the system would be a bit fair. Right, and I live to see the day where we have pass and fail. Doesn't have to be scores and numbers and pass or fail. Right? One day. But
you made a very interesting point, because it isn't fair when you have breeders that's judging.
How does the breeder judge my dog in a show ring? You know?
They put
make it make sense.
Yeah. You're right. That's one of the bad things about it. Another thing I noticed about you, I think I heard you talking about it, is the total dog. You're not one of these guys that's purist on the working side or purist on the expo or the show side. You know what I mean? You believe in a total dog. Over here, we got a lot of purists. We got to do, and it's only because if they work dogs, that's their primary thing, they purist that way. Then they'll knock the show crowd, and vice versa. It's only because of what they do. Both of them don't know you can learn a ton from each. And if you think you can't learn from a preservation breeder, you got your damn mind. They just tell me you stupid as hell.
That's where the school is.
Yeah, that's where
the school is.
But politics plays a role in everything in dogs, man.
Look, wherever there's money, there'll be politics.
There'll be politics, yeah.
There'll be politics. Wherever there's money, there'll be politics, and there'll be people who want to screw the other, so that they. Hence, I say, I pray for the day we have totally independent judges, right? Or retired breeders.
Right.
Retired breeders. Let the retired breeders judge the shows.
That's only right. That's only right.
Because and also one thing that I see, we've got different preferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I breed females that look like males, which I don't understand why people do that, but that's a story for another day. Would I judge a proper female fairly?
Mm-hmm.
I won't, because my personal preference would be a female that looks like a male. So if Bogoshi comes or James Brennan comes with his type of female, they still no chance in a show because of preference.
Right, but what
breeders have their own preferences.
Yeah, but what does the standard say? Because
I don't think people judge to according to the standards. I don't think so.
Right.
Why? Because they say no. There's what you call show presence. So your dog might be good in the standard, but if it doesn't have a show presence, the one with the show presence with bad hocks might win the show.
Right. Yeah. So, but in a standard, right? I was talking to my boy Terry Cornish one time. He's a Rottweiler expert. What's up, Terry? And I had a conversation with him about feminine versus masculine. Should you be able to tell the difference? He's like, no, you should not be able to tell the difference in the sex just by looking at them. Because of the standard. That makes sense to you?
No, it doesn't. I always go back to nature, right?
Yeah.
I always look at nature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yet to see a lioness that looks like a lion. Never.
Yeah, true.
I've never.
Yeah.
I've never seen a cow that looks like a bull. It's only with dogs that we have an obsession of trying to breed a male that looks
a female
that looks like a female. Okay, here's a question. Mm-hmm. Would you date a male? Hello?
No. Sir.
Would you want to date somebody that looks like you?
No.
Me. I want another male. So yeah.
No.
Yeah. So yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I believe that there must be a difference.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's that little topic they're gonna stir around.
Yeah.
But good response on that, because you actually making me think on that, because I used to think the same as you, and then I kind of get it, because I'm not when I'm thinking of like the standard, like the dog should look like, they should look alike, but I know that female's not going to have the muscle tone that, you know, I know it's not going to be big, and I know it's not going to be, but it's going to look kind of uniform. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Kind of is going to look uniform. But
Yes.
but yeah, so yeah, man. So we got a mutual friend. I want to bring him up, and because he told me about you first, brother.
Yeah.
Roman Price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said y'all did a talk. I missed it. I need to check it out. Give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real world experience and our passion for healthy dogs.
Look, I like Roman. He's a person that reminds me of James Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
They believe in the same philosophy, same ideology, a lot of things. When I talk to him and I see what he does, his dogs, he's like James.
Right, yeah.
James used to run a lot of dogs. You come to his yard, like 50 dogs, walking.
Uh-huh.
And you'd be like, they don't fight? So, yeah, they'll fight now and then, but hey, it's animals, dogs, that's fine, it's okay. You know, then there's dominance. I'm like, oh, okay. So when one goes on heat, now I isolate it. Like he's an old dog, man.
Yeah.
Old dog, man.
And Roman gonna keep them together, boy. Yeah. Some of the stuff.
Roman is like that, yeah.
Yeah, they run them in packs. Woo!
Yeah. They run them in packs.
Yeah, man. I bring mine out, man, in some pairs, because I just don't want to deal with breaking these big old dogs up, man. It'd be a lot sometimes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I do that.
Yeah, I said you three go together, you three together, because I just don't want I just don't want to deal with that fight. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay. But you said something. Mr. Brennan and Mr. Johan Swart are two key figures when you bring up the Boerboel. You don't, their names gonna be mentioned. But what if,
and also no. I need, if we talk about the key figures, if you talk about the Boerboel and the Boerboel history,
yes, sir.
You need to mention Luetmini.
Okay.
He built a kennel called the Cabaret Boerboels.
Cabaret, I heard it.
Yeah, Cabaret Boerboels. His daughter's in the States. His daughter lives in the States.
Really?
You also need to mention a guy called Lucas van Vieren of Spitzer Boerboels.
Mm-hmm.
He's been credited of creating the black Boerboels. He denies it. I've sat with him. He denies it. He says he never. But you can't mention the Boerboel and the history of the modern Boerboel without mentioning Luetmini and Lucas van Vieren.
Gotcha. Okay. So where I was going with this, as far as Brennan and Mr. Swart, you said they got two trains of thoughts. What can you? And I don't know how to ask this to be divisive, but what thoughts you talking to me?
No. What I'm saying, they came from a school of thought that says there is no such thing as a black Boerboel.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yes, so they were together in that, and they believed it to the end, you know, and hence when organizations were merged together, I think they never joined SABS, maybe because of that, you know, of the black dog issue. So they just never believed in the black Boerboel.
when it comes to the Boerboel in America, you got SABS in South Africa. We got a couple different organizations over here in America.
NEBA.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys still have NEBA. There's NEBA.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, AKC, I think also Registries, or CKA, I'm not quite sure around those, you know.
AKC don't take a certain type of dog. Do the AKC take the black dog?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, man. Well, I think before we go, for anybody beginning in this, what advice would you give to them? What lines would you suggest they study and look into?
Look, the first advice I'd give is that they need to learn as much as they can. They need to learn about Canis familiaris, that is dog. Because dog is dog.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Need to learn about the dog. And then learn about the breed, the Boerboel. Learn about the Boerboel. Do your proper homework. Visit places, go to breeders, look at the dogs, learn about the dogs, and then only get your first dogs and go into breeding. Don't just buy dogs first and learn after. You know?
Right.
I'm not going to be very with lines. I'm going to say they must buy my lines. I'm not going to promote anybody. Yeah. Look, look, people breed in pairs. People breed in groups. I've got a few close friends of mine. My Veloso Boerboels. There's a guy in Texas. He's got a lot of dogs from my Veloso. I think the kennel is called Texas bred Boerboels. He's got a lot of dogs from my brother, my Veloso in South Africa. So from the kennels I'll promote is my Veloso here in South Africa, is Everest in South Africa, is Optimum Superior in South Africa, and Nsizwa Boerboels. Those are 4 kennels that I'm close with and I work very close with.
Right. Yeah. So when people are trying to find Boerboels, good ones, a lot of times the really good breeders don't have 100,000, 200,000, 50,000 followers. How do you navigate that? I mean, because, you know, you got a lot of respect. You know, you're respected by some of the top people in the game. You don't have all these fancy cameras, all these followers. How do people navigate the noise of the internet? Red flag and things like that.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. I was actually having this talk with a fellow breeder from Everest Boerboels. I was saying that there's this other new breeder in South Africa, new guy. Maybe he's been breeding for 2 years, if not 550,000 followers.
It's great.
500. I mean, I look at my TikTok. It's 8,000. You know, and I've been doing this forever. So it's going to be very difficult. People are going to go for the large numbers. It's the nature of the world we live in here and in America. Influences people with a lot of numbers. They are going to get the sales at this point. But the OGs and the guys that do this for the love, they'll come back to us.
Yeah, that's right.
At some point, they'll come back to us, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it usually is sparked by a bad experience, and then they find you because they start looking deeper.
Yes, it's the bad experience, and then they come.
Then they come, yeah.
Then they come, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's shocking to me too, because I heard a guy, he was complaining about the podcast. Oh, you old breeders don't know, y'all know you talking about, you know this and that. And he actually said experience doesn't matter. I'm like, then I look, I said, dang, this guy has over 50,000 subscribers talking like this. Never bred a dog.
In his life.
In his life. I'm like, man, it's crazy. But I think shows like this, will help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all this collaboration, putting good breeders on and everything like that will get better over time. So yeah, man, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. Your country is a big market for everything in the world. The greenback has a lot of strength. I've done business with Americans. You know, when a person gives you $1, hey man, it becomes well now the dollar is a bit low, but hey, it'll pass. But I'm grateful for the platform, so that people also in America can hear me and know about me. And I'm a person that have sold a couple of dogs in America, from Pennsylvania to San Francisco. So I've done a lot of business in the States. Hopefully one day your government will look back at the CDC restrictions and take them out so that we can sell dogs again into the States. But thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
For giving me the chance to talk to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you right now, I want that interview with you and Roman together. I want it very much. I want it. I want it. Yeah. So, you and Roman. Yeah, I want it. I want it. I want it.
The ends and how to download things and how to put it, but we need to have another sit down with Roman.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. It's nice to meet you. I thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. Okay.
We shall talk then.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Connie Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe, discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.